ready?
Yep.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do you have to read this due to the current federal and state emergency declaration, the Minnesota directive to residents to stay at home, and the guidance about limiting people to person contact due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the meeting of the Fergusville School District School Board meeting is being conducted in accordance with Minnesota Statute 13D.021. With that, Clerk, will you establish a quorum for us, please?
Kirby Anderson.
Present.
Natalie Knudsen. Natalie Knudsen.
Yes, here.
Melanie Cole.
Present.
Matthew Lemke.
Here.
Missy Hermes. Present. Stephen Vigasa.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, thank you, Missy. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Natalie Knudsen. Natalie Knudsen.
Yes.
Melanie Cole.
Yes.
Matthew Lemke.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Stephen Vigasa.
Yes.
It's approved.
Thank you. There are no resolution of acknowledgements. We will move into reports. Our first report will be from Scott Colbeck, our elementary principal at Adams and McKinley.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So,
First, I want to make sure you're hearing me okay.
yes.
All right. Well, thank you for letting me join the meeting via Zoom. And I wanted to focus my comments tonight on two areas. One is kind of updating you on kindergarten registration and our incoming kindergarten class of 2033. And then also wanted to talk to you a little bit about some specifics of childcare and how our support staff have been so helpful to us during this time. So if I could just talk a little bit about kindergarten registration. As you know, we were not able to hold what's always become an exciting and important night. March 23rd on Monday was going to be the night of kindergarten registration at McKinley School from 5 to 6 p.m. Our experience with kindergarten registration in the past is that generally we have met 65% of our incoming class that evening. So needless to say, we were behind the 8 ball a little bit, and we've been working very hard trying to catch up and trying to get our kindergarten families registered for kindergarten. A huge shout out and kudos to our secretary, Michelle Carlson, and then also our educator, Heidi Drews, who have been working the phones very hard. And today I can tell you that, and I'm going to give you a lot of numbers here, but currently we have 97 families who have told us that they're going to send their child all day, every day in the fall. We have 2 families who have registered their child for the morning only option. 5 families have identified Monday, Wednesday, Friday option for their child. Now let me just say that the 97 all day, every day, the 2 morning only, 5 Monday, Wednesday, Friday, some of them are officially registered. Others have told us over the phone that's their plan, but we still need to get them officially registered. There's two ways to do that. One is to send in their paper copy, what they were mailed leading up to March 23rd, or they can register their child online. 14 families have told us that they're going to wait until next fall to send their child to kindergarten, so they're going to wait 1 year. 5 have told us that they're going to homeschool. 14 have told us that they have either moved out of the area or they're going to attend another school. 8 have let us know that they're undecided. And 81 families we have left messages for. Maybe we've been unable to reach them, maybe a phone has been disconnected, a voicemail is not set up yet, that type of thing. These are not new challenges to us. This is something that we come up against each year, and which is one reason why we always see a lot of families register their child for kindergarten in the week leading up to kindergarten, or even the week after kindergarten has begun. So that's just something that we're going to continue to do. It should come as no surprise that we had to cancel Right Start. Right Start was going to happen in the first week of June this year. So that's a little bit about kindergarten registration. Maybe before I move on to talk to you about childcare, I might, just to stay on topic, open it up to any questions any of you might have regarding anything that I just shared.
Do you think Right Start will be reconsidered closer to fall?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
This is Melanie. Do you think Right Start will be considered closer to the fall?
It's something that we would consider. It's not anything that we have tried in the past. So we would have to have some conversation about that with the people who deliver Right Start. There's a lot of legwork leading up to Right Start, and a lot of the secretarial staff at the elementary school are not employed over the summer months. So that would be something else that we would need to consider if we were going to do Right Start near the start of school.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions for Scott on this topic? Scott, what were you anticipating for numbers for this upcoming year, for this fall? Just in general, just looking at births and stuff like that, and looking at the data and stuff like that. Do you have any idea what you were anticipating?
I'm anticipating that we'll have 8 sections of kindergarten in the fall. Based on the current number of students listed on what I call the kindergarten census, class of 2033, based on those 228 kids on the census right now. Of course, that grows. I'll give you an example. Today I was shared a list of the kids that are currently in Head Start, who are going to age out of Head Start, be ready to start kindergarten in the fall. And I found students that are attending Head Start are not on the kindergarten census. So, like I say, that number grew by 2 in the last couple of days, and will probably continue to grow. Likewise, we might have a family or 2 that has moved. The kindergarten census is created by Molly Danielson, and it's something that she started with this group 4-5 years ago, and it's something that just continues to grow year by year by year. So you might be wondering, well, we had 10 sections of kindergarten this year, and then how does that look, or what happens if we go from 10 down to 8? one of our kindergarten teachers has resigned and lives about an hour away. And so we knew that we would have 9 kindergarten teachers to work with going into the fall. But I also have a first grade teacher who has resigned. She is getting married this summer and moving to Duluth. And so I am in the market for a first grade teacher, but it probably wouldn't make sense to post for a first grade teacher yet until we know for sure what's going to happen in the world of kindergarten. So if we were to start school tomorrow, my best projection is that one current kindergarten teacher of those 9 will fill a first grade teaching position. We'll have 8 sections of kindergarten. Any other questions regarding kindergarten registration or the outlook for kindergarten in the fall? Okay. So we've had 28 days of offering childcare at McKinley and Adams School. Our first day of childcare started on March 18th. At McKinley School, our range of the number of students attending on a daily basis has been anywhere from as low as 6 students to as high as 15 students. And over the course of the last 5 days of offering childcare, our average has been 9.6 students at McKinley. At Adams, similar numbers. Instead of the range being 6 to 15, the range has been 7 students at the low end to 14 students at the high end. And over the past 5 days, we have averaged exactly 9 students at childcare. Our support staff are doing a great job when they're not caring for children. They have been doing a number of activities ranging from cleaning to organizing, even some landscaping or outdoor cleanup. They have been delivering meals. They have been helping hand out meals during meal pickup at the school. They have been busy either labeling, reading and recording stories, supporting students in their learning, whether it's via Zoom or in the computer lab. We even have some ready to do some painting here pretty soon when the paint arrives. So it's been a great team effort. Oftentimes what I'll do is I'll email, I've done this twice now. Over the past month or so, I've emailed all of our teachers and asked them to send me any ideas that they might have in their classroom or in their workspace. Any ideas that they might want done, projects done, so on and so forth, that we've then handed over to our support staff. And they have gladly accepted those responsibilities, completed them, sometimes taking pictures, sending it to the classroom teacher, and we just really appreciate everything they've done. Those were the 2 pieces I wanted to focus on tonight. I do have a couple extra comments. Before I move on to the additional comments, though, I'll open it up to any questions regarding childcare at McKinley or Adams.
Go ahead, Scott.
Okay. So I just wanted to also commend all of our teachers for the job that they've done. They were given a week and a half to the world was turned upside down, for lack of a better explanation. A week and a half of planning and preparation, getting ready to deliver learning from a distance. They have done a really nice job. They've done a great job working together, meeting as a group, getting feedback from families, wondering how it's going. There's been some modifications made. They've adapted the amount of work, perhaps that they're expecting from kids, and just keeping in close contact with families. One challenge, of course, is when we do have kids attending in the bricks and mortar school. I've always talked about our students either attending, we have groups that attend school 19 out of 20 days, another group that attends 9 out of 10 days, and another group that attends 4 out of 5 days. And although we used to lament and worry about the kids that would attend 4 out of 5 days, we miss those days because we at least have the kids with us 80% of the time. One of the challenges that we have right now is trying to engage all of our kids in this process. And of course, the younger they are, the more we depend on the adults in their lives. Just looking over the attendance that was taken at Adams School, we had 9 students last week at Adams School who were marked as unverified, meaning 9 kids that weren't engaged in distance learning last week. Those numbers varied anywhere from 9 to 11 at Adams School. And the kids that we're working on getting engaged, it sometimes varies from week to week. So for example, I had a student that appeared for the very first time this week that was marked unverified. So we have examples of students that are engaged for the first 3 weeks, but for whatever reason, were not engaged last week. The good news is we had some kids marked unverified in the very first week of distance learning, but they've been engaged ever since. So it's a work in progress, and we know it will continue to be a work in progress for the remaining 5 weeks of distance learning. But all in all, I would say that it's going very well, and we're just going to continue to make our best efforts in contacting these families to get their child engaged in distance learning. And then also maybe I should just give a shout out to our families too, because we know that this is a lot on their plate. And a lot of our families are extremely busy. To parents, whether they're working in the home or outside of the home, and now they're responsible for the learning of their young children. We've asked a lot of them as well. And here we are almost to May, and we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So our message for all of them would just be to hang in there, and we appreciate everything that you're doing for your child and for your house, for how you're supporting our teachers in how they're trying to reach children during this time. And with that, I'll be done with my presentation, and will entertain any questions here at the end.
Any other questions for Mr. Colbeck?
No.
Thank you. Our next report is Tinny Runn, our elementary principal at Cleveland. Is she online?
She's online.
Yeah.
She's on here.
See her.
Tindy.
Tindy, are you there? It's like her picture is frozen. Oh, there she is.
No, she's moving.
She's there.
Tindy, are you ready to give your report?
I'm not sure if anybody's asking me any questions, but I'm not hearing anything.
Did you unmute?
I'm not doing anything. I'm not good.
Oh, you know what? That's why.
Aren't you in control of everything? I just
Yeah, but I forget.
You're the Zoom.
Hang
person.
on a sec.
I'm unmuted. Is it my turn to report?
It is. Thank you.
It is.
Thank you.
Tindy.
All the rest of us
All the
were
rest of
though.
us were though.
Okay, so I will start. I always, each week here, I just kind of take a couple minutes to look at the calendar and just think about what we would actually be doing if we were in session. And this week would have been a really exciting and busy week at Cleveland and across the elementaries. This week would have been our last week of MCA testing, so we would have been celebrating that. And this is also the week that Cleveland students would be enjoying the obstacle course in their Phi Ed classes. So two big things there. This coming Thursday, students would have been participating with the Otter Dash, which is, as you well know, is sponsored by the Otter PTO and has become their main fundraiser each year, and allowing them to support all the special learning activities that we've been delivering to students in the district, and field trips and special projects and the like. So this would have been a really busy and exciting week if we were in session. So despite those events that are not happening, there are a lot of good things that are happening, and I want to share some of those with you guys as well. Just like Mr. Colbeck mentioned, teachers are delivering instruction using the platforms that we decided upon. They've become very proficient with Google Classroom, Seesaw, Zooming, and many of them have explored other such platforms like Nearpod, which I've observed it, but I wouldn't know how to conduct a lesson using Nearpod. Kahoot, some teachers have used Kahoot just to engage students and let them respond to questions that are being presented. It's very engaging for students, and it's fun. It's a fun way to learn as well. So I think I really commend teachers for diving into this and helping each other learn these different tools at a distance, and daring to ask questions of the unknown, like, I just am not making sense of this, what are the tricks? So kudos to everybody for just really using that collaboration and teamwork and doing things really well. Teachers have also done an exceptional job of focusing on essential learner outcomes, really focusing on what those Minnesota standards are and what do these students need to know in order to be prepared for making that grade level advancement next year. We've talked time and time again at our grade level meetings and Cleveland staff meetings that we really want to work hard to package this instruction like a Golden and Hershey's nugget, as opposed to a bag of Skittles. If we had kids right here in the classrooms, we kind of like to add variety and change it up and introduce new things and try some different means of learning. And right now they really need it packaged concisely and so that it's manageable for students and with parents who are trying to navigate all this as well. So teachers are doing a great job of providing excellent instruction. Just as Mr. Colbert mentioned too, we're striving to engage all learners. Some kids at this 3rd and 4th grade level are pretty good at navigating rather independently, and other students this age need continuous support from their parents at this point in time to really log on and find the links to some learning activities and like. So teachers have been spending time on the phone and Zoom sessions just teaching parents to how to access the information and get in and navigate Google Classroom as well. We too are having difficulty making contact with some families. They're not responding. We're not sure if they're in Fergus Falls any longer. We just have we've been unable to make contact with some families, and we're not giving up, but it's been a challenge. And then Miss Vicki Krauser just printed off the attendance list from today before she left, and on my list there are 25 students listed that teachers were not seeing activity from this past week, and there are 8 new names on this list as compared to last week's list. So 8 new families that I will reach out to here tomorrow and see how we can help them and what the hang-ups are on their end. So we are challenged to maintain contact with some of these families. There have been many Zoom sessions, and Zooming is the new way here. So along those lines, I just wanted to acknowledge too, special ed teachers across the district were tasked with writing individual distance learning plans, and that required them each to make numerous contacts with the parents of the students who were on their caseloads. The individual distance learning plan was a pretty concise one-page document, but it took some think time and pulling research together, and they needed to sit down and tend to that task, and they did a great job. In addition to that, we've had a number of successful IEP meetings via Zoom, and I think one of my big takeaways here through this process has been the Zoom meetings have proven to be a nice way to accommodate parents, and also some of our staff members, our itinerant staff who work between buildings, they can participate in a meeting from wherever they might be serving students in a particular day. So it might be a way that, it might be a tool that we continue to use even after we are over this, or through this kind of process of having to do things that way. And then also too, in regard to special education, we have many special ed paras who have begun providing support for special ed students via Zoom meetings. And it kind of looks like, the ones I've observed, it might be the para is logged on in a Zoom meeting and being able to have the student share their screen with a para, and that para educator is able to provide support for that child and maybe ask some prompting questions to guide the learning or help that child learn from a mistake that was made on an assignment. But it's motivating. If nothing else, it's a way to motivate these kids and keep them going when they can't be right here with their teachers and classmates. So good things are happening there. And just as Mr. Colbert did, any questions on that with our delivery of instruction or special ed realm?
Any questions for Tinty?
All right. I too am just going to provide you a little overview of some of the day-to-day happenings at school. We have childcare going at Cleveland, and we have had anywhere from a small number of 7 students on a certain day, and our biggest number has been 23 children. And just last week, we had 2 additional students register. One of those new students started today and was really excited to be here and see classmates have a change of pace. And then we have one additional student who will start next Monday. And we are making calls and just verifying employment of parents that they are essential workers and their children do have that ability to come and provide it during the day. We have had some 4 staff members who are skilled at sewing, and they're incredible seamstresses, but we've been able to have 4 staff members working diligently to prepare mask kits. They've been sewing masks. Most recently, they were asked by Lake Region Healthcare to sew head coverings for staff members in the medical field. So they have shown up each day, and they're cutting and sewing and working diligently. They have made thousands of masks and kits, and so it's been a great way for our school district to support our community as a whole. And we're going to keep them doing what they're doing as long as we can maintain those numbers and have adequate member support staff here working to provide, cover all the bases, I should say. We also have paraeducators who are working alongside Mike Elgold to provide Title I instruction and support for students in Title I. And just throughout last week and today, they've had more families, more parents respond with this possibility, and that that newly devised schedule is being filled very quickly. So Title I reading support is also being provided through this endeavor. And then lastly, I wanted to acknowledge the incredible work that our Otter Food Service is doing. As we all know, they are working diligently to ensure kids are receiving healthy meals. They have last week, Lance Wells set up satellite preparation and distribution at our elementary school kitchens. And then in addition to that, Otter Tail Coaches has done an incredible job of adding addresses to the distribution routes, showing up with diligent workers, the coolers that go into each of the vehicles. It's a well-oiled machine at this point. And just a shout out to all those people that are involved with Otter Food Service as well. So, and that's what I have prepared to share with you this evening.
Any questions for Tindy?
Say that one more time.
Oh, just asking anybody if they have any questions. 1 second, we're having a little technical. I think we're okay.
All right, thank you.
Our next report is from Dean Monkey, our secondary school principal.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Nice to join you here. I also have to join Tindy in just a special shout out to Lance Wells and his whole kitchen crew. We get to kind of from afar witness their work each and every day around here, and that whole kitchen crew has just done a fantastic job, and also some of our support staff have been helping just in relationship to opening up bags and getting things ready for them. So we can't say enough about the tremendous work that they're doing. Also to report a little bit on the secondary level, we were tasked with offering childcare to any 5th and 6th grade student that may qualify, under their parents doing something within the health care field. And we've averaged anywhere from about 8 to 11 students here at the Kennedy School. And our parents have done a fabulous job, along with some direction from our principal, John Steinbetter, in putting that child care program together each and every day. And they've just done a great job, and we just appreciate their efforts all the time. I know that I had a contact from Katie Johnson, who is with Lake Region Healthcare, and she was sharing with us how appreciative they are that this is happening within our schools here, so that some of their staff members can keep coming to work each and every day. So we're happy, and we couldn't pull that off with the great support that we get from our support staff doing that work directly every day. We too here at this level, of course, are disappointed in some of the things that we haven't been able to do. Tonight would have been the start of our spring concert season, basically with our jazz concert being held this evening. And although we know those aren't taking place, there's still a lot of music going on in our community. I got a chance to sit in on Mr. Daniel Allender's 5th grade cello group, I think, the other day over Zoom. It was fantastic. They did a fantastic job, and the students were playing away, and so it was just fun to sit in on that and take that in. But we certainly are going to miss those concerts here for the rest of this year. But we're also going to look forward to at least doing something along the lines with some of these events. I know that the Activities Office under Derek Abrams and Amber Hovland have been planning diligently for some type of virtual awards program for our seniors coming up here later this month in May. So they're going to put something together and make sure we recognize those students for any awards or scholarships that they've earned over the course of this year, and are going to benefit them as they go off into their next endeavor. And also then just, I was reminded today that on Wednesday we would have had our 7th grade honors breakfast. And yet I've already had Kim Dozak research and identify our 7th and 8th grade honors students. We've got certificates printed already. We're consulting with a couple local vendors here to maybe put a little something extra in the envelope as we send those out. So it can be a little surprise for our 7th and 8th grade honor students as those certificates end up being sent out in the mail. And then also we should talk just a minute about graduation. Of course, that's a major event for our seniors who are graduating here. And we were kind of waiting until last Thursday when we got, a directive from the state of Minnesota and from the governor's office in relationship to not returning back to school for the rest of this year. So here's what we kind of know so far in relationship to graduation. We are going to do something at 7 p.m. on May 29th. Our original graduation date and on that same time. We just feel that any planned event after that date would see fewer and fewer participants as the date was extended out. So we need to stick to our original date. Whatever we decide to do on May 29th, it will be in probably some type of virtual format. Seniors are going to get a chance to respond to a student survey coming out from their peers toward the end of this week or the start of next. We have been in constant contact with our student council members and looking for their feedback as well. No matter what is done on May 29th, we will plan in coordination with the Education Foundation, the Alumni Association. We want to do a reunion for these 2020 graduating class as soon as possible. We're not even going to wait till year one. If we can do that, whenever restrictions are lifted sometime here, we are going to invite those graduating seniors back so they have a chance to do something in person. And we're not sure what date that will be, but we will not forget about them and we will bring them back. At this time, any and all ideas are certainly acceptable. Of course, with no promises that we can probably do exactly what people suggest, but we do want to hear from people out there. We plan to get our caps and gowns out so that families can go ahead and take pictures with those as well. And I know the high school office is working on a special program to put together some banners recognizing our seniors and have them posted out in the community. So not sure about all the details yet. I'll let the high school office take care of that. But they are planning something special for our seniors along that way. So we're just planning ahead and narrowing down all those good ideas, but specifically looking towards 7 o'clock on May 29th to have something by way of a graduation ceremony. And we're also, looking ahead to what might be possible over the course of the summer. We too would have been starting right now with tours for like incoming 5th graders for next year. We'll probably look to move all of that along with our Right Start program to sometime in August. And we'll also make sure that we give additional opportunities for any new students that might be joining us come next year to have some time in the building again once those restrictions are lifted and we can invite students back in. So we're going to look ahead to do that with Right Start and more tours coming up before that September 8th start next year in relationship to our school year. Life at IQ Academy, our online school, goes on with over 1,000 students there attending. So special thanks to all those teachers that continue having that program move forward. Also special shout out to Mr. Ryan Johnson, our principal over there in that area. They're just doing a great job in the course of this, just moving forward and keeping all those students really across the state of Minnesota engaged in our online school at IQ Academy. And also, we're looking forward to next year too, just in relationship to our registration process. And we're at the point in the process right now where we're kind of adding in all those special classes, identifying those students that have been marked for honors classes, taking a look at entering some students into classes that are interventions that can help them maybe specifically within the area of language arts and math. We're kind of making those individual changes right now. Our goal is to have that whole schedule ready by May 4th. So over the course of the month of May, our counselors can reach out individually to those students that maybe don't have a complete schedule yet because of conflicts and choices that they'll need to make. and get more of those schedules complete, so we're all set and ready for next year. So as all of us know, whether we're distance learning or here, when May comes, it's a sprint. And we'll be sprinting all the way to May 29th now with all kinds of different things going on here. So thank you very much this evening for a chance to report. And if there's any questions out there, please let me know.
Any questions for Mr. Monkey? Thank you, Dean.
You bet.
Moving on to our next report, our Superintendent Drake.
Good evening. I as well would like to thank the district staff from the folks in the district office processing paychecks when people are working quite variable schedules these days, to Elaine processing hundreds of questions about that have come about with this COVID-19 and what's possible and what isn't. The administrative team that has been working hard to brainstorm solutions to the various challenges that have been thrown our way. All the teachers, of course, have been tasked with learning new skills and deploying them on the fly and keeping students engaged in their learning in a much different format than most of us are accustomed to. To the food service staff, we're cranking out about 2,200 meals a day. And they've done a tremendous job. To our partners at Otter Tail Coaches for adjusting their delivery schedules and making sure that approximately 500 meals a day are delivered to the student's doorstep. Our support staff for their work on the Childcare program and making sure those students are well attended and getting the support they need. To the folks that are sewing masks and people that are painting and cleaning and disinfecting. All those roles are very important. We've got support staff, paraprofessionals providing academic support via Zoom or Seesaw. And we have come a remarkable way in terms of our capacity to function in a much different environment over the last month and a half here. All that said, I still wish we had the kids in the building with us and fully staffed, but the commitment made by all the employees in the district is something that the community can and should be very proud of. We're certainly thankful and grateful for all the support, time and attention that the parents have undertaken in helping their students learn under this digital and distance learning format as well. Congratulations are due the Fergus Falls School District Music Department and Community on being named a 2020 Best Communities for a Music Education Award. It's my understanding that this is the fourth time that the district has earned this designation. Provided the technology switch goes smoothly, I'm going to play a short congratulatory message from one of the owners of Schmidt Music.
I'm one of the fourth generation owners of our company, and I bring greetings from my brother Tom and me and our two sons, Pete and Ted, who now represent 5 generations of family ownership of our business. We're in our 123rd year of business. We're very proud of that. We are here to celebrate and to help you celebrate your 4th win of the NAM Best Communities for Music Education Award. This award is in its 22nd year. And NAM stands for the National Association of Music Merchants. And so this is our national trade association. It's actually worldwide trade association. They should rename it WHAM. But it represents our entire $17 billion global music products industry. So this award, the Best Communities for Music Education Award, is truly a national award, and there were 754 winners this year out of about 14,000 districts in the nation, so that's about top 5%. Also, in Schmidt Music's territories, we had 20 winners out of the 400 districts that we service, also the top 5%. So that's really a special place to be. I really want to thank my friend Denise Weiss. She is the one who made this happen. She had to fill out the 54-page survey and get it all done right and get it sent in. And the NAM then sends this information, all these statistics, into the University of Kansas, where they've got the Music Research Institute, and they go through and select all the winners out of that. So it's really a cool thing. And I encourage you to proudly display these awards that I'm sending up to you and show them off to people. And anytime, especially when you're doing your school board budgeting work, if you take a look at those before you get down to the line item for music, you might think, wow, we really do have a special music program. Maybe I'll increase the budget. Anyway, it's lots of fun, and we're certainly glad to be involved in our great school service rep, Jim Iverson, who takes care of your district and actually serviced your schools as a music band director there for a long career. We're so lucky to have him representing us now and doing a fine job there. So let me congratulate you one last time, and I'll sign off and have a great rest of your school board meeting. Bravo.
All right, moving on. Again, congratulations to our music department, and thanks for all their hard work, and for our families that support music education in the district. This coming Friday, as directed by Governor Walz, will be a planning day, and the following Monday as well, planning day for teachers, and also an opportunity for professional development. This was seen as an opportunity for the teaching staff to plan out basically the rest of the year and acquire any additional skills that would help in the delivery of instruction in this distance learning model. So I do want, again, to make parents aware there will not be any new instruction delivered on this coming Friday or Monday. We do hope that these couple days without new instruction do afford some of our students an opportunity to catch up on some missing assignments that they may be behind on right now. As expected, once Governor Walz indicated the rest of the school year would be done via distance learning, shortly thereafter the Minnesota State High School League came out with their announcement canceling the remainder of the spring season of activities. And again, just on behalf of me to especially our seniors that may have had hopes and aspirations for some of their final activities this spring before crossing the stage, we certainly are thinking about you and know that this was difficult news to receive. The Minnesota Rural Education Association has named a new executive director. His name is Bob Indahar. He's a retiring superintendent from Moose Lake, and he will take on the role from retiring executive director Fred Nolan beginning July 1st. Special acknowledgement to Greater Fergus Falls for Project Twofold. They are supporting close to 500 students in our district. Each of those students will get a free movie pass. They will get a pass for a free game of bowling and shoe rental, and they'll also get a certificate that is good for a free haircut at one of several local establishments. And this was seen as an opportunity to not only support our families that maybe could use a little bit of good cheer amid this once some of the restrictions of this pandemic are lifted, but also to support our local business community. So really was a win-win for all parties. The entire package per student was running about $28. Greater Fergus Falls committed to funding 75 students, and Downtown Riverfront Council committed to another 54. And we had several other businesses and individuals that provided financing for the rest. And I heard it did not take very long, which speaks to the generosity of our local Fergus Falls community. And then lastly, I do want to say thanks to the City of Fergus Falls and the Fergus Falls 544 Education Foundation for their partnership in moving forward with a varsity softball field coming up for our program. So with that, I will certainly turn it over to any questions.
Any questions for Superintendent Drake? Thank you. Moving on to our general consent items, we have the minutes for the April 13th, 2020 board meeting. Personnel, Elaine Jenke.
Yes, good evening, everyone. We have a number of changes here. We'll start off with the support staff retirement of Vivian Whipple. She's a special ed paraprofessional here at Kennedy Secondary School, and that's effective at the end of the summer. She does work with some of our other targeted services and such during the summer months, so she'll be with us during that time also. And then we also have a resolution further down on the agenda under new business. Support staff resignation, Jolene Tennyson. She's also a special ed paraprofessional at Adams, and that's effective at the end of the school year. And then we have some certified staff contract requests, and these three certified teachers graciously agreed to be flexible during the school year, and now they're requesting just to rescind the rights that increase them because of our increase of enrollment of students, which will bring them back down to basically where they started at the beginning of the year. And that would be Vanessa Jacobson, request to rescind rights of a .0392 FTE in elementary education. Christy Sullivan, request to rescind rights of a .0833 FTE in language arts. And Matthew Damon, request to rescind rates of a .1667 FTE in science. And these are all beginning next school year, 2020-2021. And so I would request approval for all of these personnel changes.
Thank you, Elaine. Do we have a motion to approve the general consent items?
So move.
Okay.
And I'll second.
Motion by Kirby, second by Melanie. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Natalie Knudsen,
Yes.
let's see, Melanie Cole,
Yes.
Matthew Lemke,
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes, Stephen Vigasa,
Yes.
Kirby Anderson,
Yes.
yes.
General consent items. Thank you. It passed. We have no old business. Moving on to new business. We have a resolution relating to the termination and non-renewal of teaching contracts of a probationary teacher. Whereas blank is a probationary teacher in Independent School District 544, be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District number 544 that pursuant to Minnesota Statutes 122A.40, subdivision 5, that the teaching contract of a probationary teacher in Independent School District number 544 is hereby terminated at the close of the current 2019-2020 school year. Be it further resolved that written notice be sent to said teacher regarding termination and non-renewal of his/her contract as provided by law, and that said notice shall be in substantially this following form. Notice of termination and non-renewal. Dear Mrs. or Mr., you are hereby notified that at a regular meeting of the school board of Independent School District number 544 held on April 27th, 2020, a resolution was adopted by the majority roll call vote to terminate your contract effective at the end of the current school year, and not to renew your contract for 2020-2021 school year. Said action of the school board is taken pursuant to Minnesota Statute 122A.40, subdivision 5. You may officially request that a school board give its reason for the non-renewal of your teaching contract. For your information, however, this action is taken because of the financial condition of the school district. Sincerely, Melissa Hermes, Clerk, School Board of Independent School District number 544. People on this is number 1, Diane Anderson, and number 2, Kathleen Rittenauer. Will somebody offer that resolution and move for its adoption?
I'll offer the following resolution and move for its adoption.
Thank you, Missy. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Melanie? Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Melanie Cole,
Yes.
Matthew Lemke,
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Stephen Vigasa,
Yes.
Kirby Anderson,
Yes.
Natalie Knudsen.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
Thank you. Item number 2, I'm going to have Melanie Cole read this following resolution.
This is a resolution on the retirement of Vivian Whipple, whereas Vivian Whipple began her employment with Fergus Falls Public Schools in October 2009, and whereas Vivian has been a valued employee with the Fergus Falls Public Schools for the past 11 years, and whereas Vivian has done an excellent job as a special education paraprofessional for the district, and now, therefore, be it resolved by the Fergus Falls School Board to thank Vivian Whipple for her 11 years of dedicated service to Fergus Falls Public Schools. I will offer that resolution and move for its adoption.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that resolution.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Matthew Lemke,
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Stephen Vigasa,
Yes.
Kirby Anderson,
Yes.
Natalie Knudsen,
Yes.
Melanie Cole.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
Thank you. Item number 3 is we have a request from RAM General Contracting, Inc. to withdraw their April 9th, 2020 bid for the 2019 Fergus Falls School Facility Upgrade Project. Before we take that, I'm going to have Mark Masson come up and just speak on this motion. Welcome.
Invisible podium.
Basically, what this is all about is during our bid process, Ram Construction out of Brainerd submitted their bid, and they actually were the low bidder. But a quick examination of their numbers quickly determined that somebody wrote a 0 instead of an 8 on their HVAC part of the bid, and so their bid was off by $800,000. It was short. And so rather than force RAM to come up with $800,000, which I know they don't have, and their attorneys will say, we're not going to do this, they have formally requested to be removed from the bid, be relieved of their bid. And the error was legitimate, so it's not like they were just cruising looking for a low bid and then seeing what the market was. It was an actual error in their calculation. Somebody just wrote it down wrong. So, or actually, it wasn't wrote down wrong, it was tallied wrong. The number was there, but somebody had missed the calculator. But in any case, the next low bid then would be Comstock Construction. They were $60,000 higher. If we add the $800,000 error to Rams, it would put them much higher, in fact, more in line with some of the other bids that we received from out-of-town bidders. So I would recommend that we accept their request to be relieved of the bid.
Thank you, Mike. Do we have somebody that wants to offer that motion to relieve RAM from their bid? From Missy, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Melanie was second. Any discussion or questions on this? Roll call, please.
Kirby Anderson,
Yes.
Natalie Knudsen,
Yes.
Melanie Cole,
Yes.
Matthew Lemke.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Stephen Vigasa.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 4 is to the acceptance of the bid for the Lincoln School project. The low bid would be from Comstock Construction for $7,514,400. With that, will somebody offer that motion to approve?
So moved.
Kirby, do we have a second?
Second.
Missy is a second. Any discussion?
You may want to include in your, we just thought of this, you may want to include the $100,000 for the skylight. That's alternate 1. So you may want to put that in there as well.
Okay, that's true. Okay, so now we need to amend,
Yeah,
yes,
I'll amend my motion to add the $100,000 skylight.
okay. Do we have a second to that amendment?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion on the amendment? Okay, roll call, please.
Natalie Knudsen,
Yes.
Melanie Cole,
Yes.
Matthew Lemke,
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Stephen Vigasa,
Yes.
Kirby Anderson,
Yes.
the motion carries.
Thank you, which now brings us back to the motion to the acceptance of the bid for the Lincoln School project for Comstock Construction with the amendment, so it'd be $7,614,400. We do have a motion and a second on that already. So any further discussion on the motion?
So that, just to clarify, that amount would have included the intumescent paint
Yes.
and some other items that will be coming off that figure, just to make sure that people are aware of that, yes.
So, just so the general public, so everybody understands, so the general public is that there is some, let's see, value engineering that was taking place that will reduce this amount, but we have to approve the amount of the low bid. And then there was some value engineering that has taken place or will be taking place to lower the cost of the project. But we first need to accept the low bid first, so.
Kirby Anderson,
Yes.
Natalie Knudsen,
Yes.
Melanie Cole,
Yes.
Matthew Lemke,
Yes,
Missy Hermes, yes. Stephen Vigasa,
Yes.
the motion carries.
thank you. That concludes our regular school board meeting. Following this, we will go into a work session, talk about Lincoln School project, and no, we won't talk about that. And then the end of the year schedule and events. Our next regular school board meeting will be Monday, May 11th at 5:15 p.m. We'll either be here at the the Media Center or the Otter Community Room at Kennedy Secondary School. With that, do I have someone would offer a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
All right. Melanie Cole,
Yes.
Matthew Lemke,
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Ooh, sorry. Stephen Vigasa,
Yes.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
Natalie Knudsen.
Yes.
All right, the motion carries.
Thank you. We are adjourned.